My name is Sheridan and welcome to Making Soy Candles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the products that you've possibly purchased from me with your beginner's candle making set, or even I do have the tea light making set as well. So I'll give you a brief rundown on how to make it. It's very, very simple, easy to follow, and certainly be giving you a lot of special tips along the way, which has taken me quite some time to learn, and I'm going to be giving them to you, so it makes it a lot easier. Okay, so what I'll do is just some of the products that you've got would be definitely your pourer jug, and also wicks and pots and thermometer. So I'll go through when you need to start this. First of all, so you'll need 2 pans. One which you'll place some water in, and one that you'll place some of the actual soy wax in. So I've got this pan here. I've already got some water in it, and what you'll want to do is probably fill it up to about here with water, and then put it on the stove and start boiling away. So once that starts to get hot, with the wax that you've probably got, as you can see, it's quite a flaky bit of texture, and what you want to do is put this into the second pan, and just like that. And once the water is boiling, just pop it in like that, and then it's on its way to melting. So usually when that's melting, what I usually do is I start on the containers and get them ready. So you bring out a container like this, and if you're going to be giving them out as gifts, or even if you start to perhaps make a little bit of money on the side, you definitely need to put the warning stickers on the bottom. And this is just so important to have this to cover you. And also it tells you how to look after your wick as well, which is really important, because these wicks are cotton wicks as opposed to the paraffin wax candles that generally have a lead wick. The cotton wicks do tend to become a little bit bushy once they've been blown out, so they do need to be trimmed. So very, very simple, but the instructions on here does actually allow you to know that information. Okay, so this, that label goes on there, and then we've got our wicks. Now the wicks are, these ones are specific to this particular container, so there's all different types of wick sizes, and very, very simple. One of the stickers, place it on here, just like this. Pull that off, and place as close to the middle as you possibly can. So it's just nice and easy like that. Actually, if you've got an old biro, you can actually take out the contents and put the biro straight down in with the wick, and that will just give it a nice pressure to stay in the middle. So there we go, that's almost ready. So I usually do a couple of those ones. And very, very simple. And pop it in the middle there. And there we go, we've got a couple ready to go. So it's all about timing with once the soy wax is melting. And there, put them on there. Now I've actually already started melting some of the wax, and I've poured it. So with the thermometer, you do want to wait until it's around about 50 degrees before you actually place the fragrance in it. Otherwise it can burn it a little bit. So that's all ready to go. So what I'll do is I'll start mixing up some of the fragrances, and it's really wonderful. You can obviously mix and match some of the fragrances. I would highly recommend to do an aromatherapy course. I did one of these a couple of years ago, and just gives you an idea of the different fragrances and essential oils that you can actually mix into it. But you can certainly experiment if you start to get a little bit more serious about candle making, which it is very addictive, I must admit. I do enjoy, very relaxing and quite creative too. So I'm just mixing up a couple of different scents together. And then, so I usually work on around about 150 mils to 200 per litre, but just really depends on how strong the fragrance is. So I just pop it in there like that. So your actual, so the temperature that you pour the fragrance in is 50 degrees, and then once it starts to get a bit cloudy, the texture, because it does actually go to a liquid form, and then it starts to obviously set. So once it starts to go to a cloudy format, then that's pretty much when you want to start pouring it into your containers. So that sort of sits around about 30 degrees. So because I've been doing it for a while, I don't actually need the thermometer, but I certainly have this in most of the packs that I sell to help you initially. And you want to give that a very good stir. Otherwise the fragrance can actually drop to the bottom, so we definitely want to give that a good stir. So we stir it like that, and it's almost nearly ready to be poured. And what I might do is I might just get another container ready, because I know I'll probably pour around about 4. Now, one thing that is really good about this is you can actually use some of your old containers as well. And you know, I've got plenty of different container sizes that I use. I've got this one here, which may be in your pack. That this is a different wick depending on the container, as I mentioned before. And obviously I've got the tea lights as well. When you're pouring the tea lights, you want to try and make a meniscus and type of texture, so it actually sort of looks like it's about to drip, but it doesn't quite do that. So that makes a fantastic tea light candle, and that one will burn for around about 8 hours, which is just brilliant. You can either have a plain no scent, or you can scent them, so they're just absolutely wonderful. Here's another one too that's part of my range as part of the naked candle. That's obviously one with a lid, and that's probably more for selling in shops too, so it doesn't get dust on the top. So that's just part of my range, which is wonderful. Okay, so that's all nearly ready to go. And I'm just going to give this a really good stir, which I'm doing now. And you can smell the fragrance, it's absolutely wonderful. And this is ready to go. So it's got quite a cloudy texture coming along. And okay, I'm ready to pour. Now I've got a fairly steady hand, so one thing I didn't mention before is that make sure you put down lots of newspaper, because soy wax is wonderful to work with, but it's actually a little bit challenging to get off your benches. So definitely put down the newspapers, and even on the ground too. Certainly helps you with the cleanup. Okay, so we're ready to pour, so just pour straight in. And you want to just sort of leave it around about a centimetre below the top there, so just like that. And then you're ready to pour the next one. So you pretty much want to pour them all out so everything's ready to go. There we go. There's the second one. And as you can see, it starts to get the really cloudy appearance now. There we go. And just pouring the fourth one. And see, I've got some left over, so I always prepare some other containers as well. So I've got this one here, which I'll pour into. There we go. Okay, so that's all done. So what do we do from here? Well, I've got these fantastic little devices, and there's probably either like a paddle pop type of device, or I prefer to use these metal ones. And if you do get a bit serious on it, you're more than welcome to contact me. I can tell you where to buy these ones. And what you want to do is you want to place these in the middle, so the wick actually stays right in the middle, which is fantastic. So I'll just place these on here, and they just sit on the glass very, very easy. I started off with the paddle pop type of sticks, but sort of moved into these ones for my business. And there we go. Place it on like that before it sets. There we go, and the last one. Okay, so we're very, very well on its way to making your first candles. And this will probably take around about an hour, or I usually leave it for a couple of hours to set. Now, there is a special trick I'm going to let you in on, and this is definitely my best friend making the candles. And what it does is, sometimes if I've sometimes poured it when it hasn't been quite ready, or and you don't get a nice even surface. Sometimes you do everything right and you might not get an even surface. So what this actually does is it helps to reset it, so you do get a beautiful clean surface. So what you do is you turn on this, it's a blowtorch, and you just sort of go around the edges very, very gently, not too much, because you don't want to burn the actual fragrance. And certainly only recommend for adult usage. And so that would just actually reset it, and so you get a nice even surface, which is fantastic. So they're great for gifts, or I've given out my candles to plenty of my friends and family, and they just absolutely love it. So there's pretty much how to make candles. It's very, very simple. It's all to do with the actual timing of when you pour in the fragrance. And as I mentioned, it's 50 degrees, and then obviously 30 degrees is when you pour. And you can pop your own labels here as well. So depending on what's compatible with your computer, I've put personalised labels. I've used them for weddings. I've used them for so many different events, and they're just absolutely beautiful, and obviously packaging up in different bags and so forth. So I really do hope you enjoy your candle making experience, and if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to contact me. Okay, good luck.